was your quote. Voting for Trump is on the table.
Yes.
Does that pain you to say?
Yes, it pains me. It pains me. It pains me to be wrong.
I think we just did our research and we're just, we're not brainwashed anymore by the left.
If I had to choose between the A and the B, I'd definitely go with Trump.
All right.
Over Biden, for sure.
Why are all these woke celebrities suddenly jumping on the Trump train? It wasn't that long ago when being a Trump supporter or anything other than anti-Trump was a complete death sentence in Hollywood. Last election cycle and the election cycle before that, literally every A-lister you can imagine came out in support of the Democratic Party. They held events, did fundraisers, they even baked cookies. I can't think of a single celebrity that was pro-Trump except for maybe Kid Rock and the Duck Dynasty guys. If you were anything other than a Democrat, you were straight up canceled. And if you're a black American and you didn't vote for Biden, are you even really black?
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. It don't have nothing to do with you.
Now, this wasn't just for A-listers. Trump supporters were basically equated to Nazi scumbags.
That hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
And everyone from professional athletes to content creators to your coworkers at the water cooler were cast outside the camp with the lepers for being pro-Trump. Fast forward to 2024 and it seems that emerging out of the sea of woke, the tides are turning, and more celebrities, especially celebrities of color, are coming out as Trump supporters. I think it's safe to say that there's a spectrum amongst this new iteration of celebrity Republican. From the always was a closeted Republican, like the Kelsey Grammers or the John Voights or the Dean Cains of the world, to the oh my goodness, what was I thinking Republicans like Amber Rose and Swae Lee. Here's the thing though, it's not like all of these newly minted conservative celebrities have had a, what appears to be genuine, come to God moment like MIA.
You recently became Christian?
I became Christian, yeah. I had a vision of Jesus.
The reality is that the Overton window has shifted so much that conservative in America really just means lower taxes and anti-mass immigration. Very few of the social issues that would typically define conservatism as a euphemism or derivative of cultural Christianity are actually on the table. A prime example of that would be the pro-LGBTQ, pro-prostitution, and pro-abortion advocate Amber Rose.
I went to my stylist and I was like, I want to be like intergalactic space slut vibe.
Amber Rose isn't your typical conservative. In fact, there's nothing conservative about her. Rose is a TV model and actress, and she's most well known for being Kanye West and Wiz Khalifa's girlfriend, respectively, and a sexual liberalist. She is an extremely outspoken advocate for access to legal abortion and LGBTQ2IA+ initiatives. The pinnacle of her advocacy being Amber Rose's Slut Walk, which is an annual march/parade in the streets of Los Angeles, where the scantily clad take to the streets performing borderline sex acts while, quote, empowering women and LGBTQ+ community while ending sexual and social injustice, derogatory labeling, and gender inequality. Although she was an active campaigner for Hillary Clinton, she is no longer brainwashed by the left.
I think we just did our research and we're just, we're not brainwashed anymore by the left.
And has come out as a full-on MAGA shill, to quote Vanity Fair. Rose recently broke the internet when she spoke at the RNC convention this year.
But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States.
Both Democrats and traditional conservatives weren't very happy about it. Rose has also been very vocal against Christianity in the past, calling Jesus Christ a cult leader.
Probably gonna make people really mad, but I believe that Jesus was a cult leader. And I believe that it actually worked. And they spread his word all around the world.
Sounds pretty conservative, right? Even Snoop Dogg, who has been extremely flagrant in his hate for Trump, has had a change of tone recently. This time, about 4 years ago, Snoop was taking money from the DNC to campaign on their behalf to try to get people out to vote. Snoop Dogg has gone from cursing out Trump on social media.
Ain't no way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers.
To standing over Trump's corpse on an album cover. To literally holding a gun to his head in a music video. to recently saying, quote, "I have nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump." Either Snoop had a moment of grand revelation, or the motto "go woke, go broke" is starting to ring true. Rapper French Montana has also joined the party. French Montana is a famous gangster rapper from the Bronx and a founding member of the Coke Boys. Montana claims that Coke is an acronym for Creation of Kings Everywhere, but I'll leave that one for you guys to decide. When I think of French Montana, the first thing that comes to mind definitely isn't conservative values. He's made a career glorifying womanizing, whoremongering, drug dealing, and murder. Not exactly things that are synonymous with love thy neighbor. In fact, back in 2014, I actually directed a music video for the late Chinks Drugs and French Montana, and I spent a bunch of time around his camp. Let's just say that I was quite shocked to see that French was recently in the studio with Laura Trump. French has been tightly affiliated with Sean, Puffy, P. Diddler Combs for the majority of his time in the mainstream. And P. Diddler has been a very, very vocal advocate for the Democrats and against Trump specifically, even going as far to say,
"White men like Trump need to be banished. We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election."
In fact, in 2020 for French's birthday, his cake had a large picture of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, which made the rounds in the media and he seemed to be quite thrilled with.
Legend.
French Montana, aka Karim Karbuch, is yet to vocalize exactly why he's now on the Trump train. But I would consider it a sign of the times that it's never been more commercially lucrative to be a conservative.
Giving half your money to Joe Biden for him to send that over to another country. And you know what I'm saying?
Joe Byron.
Joe Byron, man.
Hey, at least Ukraine's straight, right?
On God.
Hey,
he got them straight before he got us straight. On God, he got them straight before he got his own country straight. Like, I don't really agree with
If Trump
that.
spins the block, are you guys going to vote for Trump?
If I had to choose between the A and the B, I'd definitely go with Trump.
All right.
Over Biden, for sure.
I choose not to speak on politics.
You're a smart man.
I believe anybody would choose that, like, though.
Swae Lee of the duo Rae Sremmurd recently took to his ex with a scathing rebuke of Kamala Harris, urging his fans to not vote Democrat based on how Democrats have allotted taxpayer money and Kamala Harris's track record as prosecutor, sending over 1,500 people to prison over marijuana violations. He said, "I pay over millions in tax dollars every year. This man sent it to a whole nother country. Those little dollars that came off your checks, they gave it away. Think about that shit. The money we sent away, every American citizen could have got minimal 200 grand. Think about that. But I guess we don't need the... And y'all standing for Kamala, my black people, she don't do nothing but sign off on things against y'all, us. Voting just cause you think she's black is not going to end in your favor. Do not vote for Kamala. Do your research on the whole camp." Swae also retweeted the famous exchange between Tulsi Gabbard and Kamala Harris during her first presidential bid.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris.
It's no surprise that Kodak Black is a Trump supporter, given he was pardoned at the end of Trump's last presidency. But recently, he's been more vocal than ever.
You voting for Donald Trump this year?
Of course. We should have Donald Trump for like 20 years, like how Russia and all that shit. Like 4 years ain't enough time for a president. Like, you feel me? That ain't enough time for more to fix what the last did. So we need Trump for like way more than 4 years.
Thank you.
Kodak has been a lot more vocal about his support for Trump and his faith in Jesus in the last couple years, although that hasn't necessarily been reflected in his music. I will say, though, that only God knows the heart, so I'll just leave that one there. Ice Cube was actually one of the first to stick his neck out and face backlash for being Trump adjacent. Cube's whole position is, don't just support the party that you've always supported, support the party that's going to do the most for Black America. Back in 2020, Ice Cube drafted and championed a manifesto that he called The Contract with Black America, addressing key issues affecting African Americans, such as lending reform, bonds for lower income children, police and judicial reform, to name a few.
People are really used to seeing, you know, black people just go on one side to the Democratic Party. And, you know, we've been doing that for a long time as a people. And we haven't really gained as much as I believe we should. And I believe it's important to engage with both sides and not just one side. Because if the one side you're engaging with doesn't respond, there's nowhere to turn. So I think by engaging with both sides, you put everybody on notice that whoever's going to do the most for the people is who we should roll with.
There have been several other celebrities who don't fit the classic conservative mold, or any conservative mold, really, to be honest, who have been very vocal for Trump recently. Waka Flocka Flame, Sexy Red, Ryan Garcia, Lil Pump, Benny the Butcher, Azalea Banks, and the list goes on and on. I think that there's an argument to be made that the idea of a president who's a convicted felon and has been unfairly targeted and persecuted by the criminal justice system would be popular with a certain marginalized group who also feels that they have been unfairly targeted by the criminal justice system. Lil Wayne, for example, who was also pardoned by Trump at the end of Trump's last presidency, has also praised Trump for his intention to reform the criminal justice system. Moving away from hip-hop, recently, U.S. Open champion golfer Bryson DeChambeau had President Trump on his YouTube channel for a segment called Can I Break 50 with President Trump?
Who's inside who?
I think the president hit it inside me. This is one of the greatest shots I've seen in a long time. Drove it to 4 feet. There you go. Nice.
The idea is DeChambeau has different celebrity golfers on his YouTube channel, and they play best ball trying to break a score of 50 with proceeds going to charities. The video very quickly became the #1 trending video on YouTube. I mean, it should be no surprise that golfers love Trump, right? He's an advocate for the game, and he owns some of the most prestigious golf courses in the entire world. Ironically, after the release of the video, Bryson DeChambeau was pressed by mainstream media at Live Golf UK as to why he would ever think it was a good idea to have President Trump on his YouTube channel, despite the obvious overwhelming support and success of the release.
First off, it's an honor to play with anybody of that type of influence, no matter who it is, on any political side. We asked the other side as well, and anyone that wants to play. They're more than willing to do something for charity. I wanted to make it about charity and the Wounded Warriors Foundation. I've done a lot for them in the past, and it was fantastic to see that he was willing to support it as well.
I never thought I'd see the day, but even Michael Rapaport, who's been one of the most vocal and crude and obnoxious anti-Trumpers in the last 8 years, has turned a corner.
Big Donald Trump is a worthless, 2-bit, no good, 3-card money playing classless pimp, asking, hoping that when he dies someday, he gets treated so nicely by the press. Are you stupid? Pig. When you pass away, gonna be dancing in the street, not me. Even I'm classy enough to know that you don't do that when someone passes away, but gonna be dancing in the street when you die. Slob. They're gonna be pelting the Hertz that carries you with eggs, piggy.
Between your two issues, Israel and your money,
yes,
and the economy, would this be the first time you vote Republican?
I'm not saying I'm going to vote Republican.
Here was your quote. Voting for Trump is on the table.
Yes.
Does that pain you to say?
Yes, it pains me. It pains me. It pains me to be wrong.
Yeah.
But I was wrong about Israel, and I was wrong about economy stuff.
Things are literally changing on a daily basis right now. I shot this video a couple days ago, and while I was editing, this happened. He's still not really willing to admit that he was actually wrong, just kind of wrong, but it's a start. Even lifelong Democrats like NFL legend Lawrence Taylor has come out in vocal support of Trump, speaking at a rally.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again, okay?
People are just sick and tired of being told what to think, or what they can and cannot say, or telling them to bend their morality to some sort of due north that's presented to them by politicians and corporations. People are just less afraid to get canceled. The hegemony of cultural Marxism is losing its grip on the average American, and more people are willing to speak out. I think people are genuinely sick and tired of woke culture. And I don't mean everybody, but a lot of people. It's really shocking to me to see this new class of Republican and conservative. I don't even know what a conservative is. It's kind of funny, right? Liberals don't know what a woman is, and Republicans don't know what a conservative is. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate content like this. It's a really tiny community at this point, but I'm excited to watch it grow. And if you want to support me directly, I've got merch on my website. If you like my t-shirt here, I'll pin a link in the about section of this video. Also, if you're a news junkie like me, check out Ground News. They do a really incredible job of compiling news sources from all around the world and showing you who's paying for what news and which way the organization leans, whether that's left or right. So you can process all of the stories and all of the information and come to your own conclusions. Also, check me out on Instagram. I share breaking news on my stories for subscribers every day, and the occasional hot take on X. Thanks for being here, and don't forget, the truth will set you free in these strange times. Peace!